We alive! We alive! All right. Welcome to Speculation Sunday on a Sunday. We got Just As Danny in the house. Danny, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How's the audio? How's everything going? Does
I
it sound
know.
okay?
Do we sound and look good? We get the fundamentals
We
of
had
the
we
live
had
stream.
some technical troubles, so we just wanted to make sure everyone can hear us, that we look okay. But yes, everything's going
Hey,
good.
Coco,
We had a great
get off
opening
the
night.
Wi-Fi's. All right.
We had a great opening night for Scary Farm, and I can't wait to go back. Glad I got my pass.
I know, dude. Um, Opening day, Not Scary Farm kicked off last Thursday. I didn't have a chance to go back, but I will definitely be going back because I have a pass too. I would love to go back with Danny. Um, Scary Farm is predominantly what I want to talk about today, but we're also going to go into Q&A, and we'll talk anything. Universal, Disneyland, Knott's. It'll be just Q&A, so you guys decide where the conversation goes. Everybody's saying it's good. Let's go. All good. Okay, all systems go. I don't know. I told Coco to get off the Wi-Fi's. I don't know if that'll help or not, but it's looking better. The internet's looking better. All right. Um, for opening day, Not Scary Farm, we had two mazes that were pretty much the focal point of the whole event, in my opinion, because Knott's always has a lot of returning mazes, but this year we have Widows, which was probably the most anticipated, and then Eight Fingers Nine, the Boogeyman, which was kind of nobody really knew what to expect. Um, Overall, Danny, before we get into details and really the real like deep dive of Not Scary Farm, how was it for you? Like from a broad picture, like what was your experience?
Yeah. Like on just the maze or the whole event?
The whole event, the whole event. We'll go into the
The
mazes and
whole
all in
event.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think someone brought it up on here. I think it was Rick's Theme Park Adventures. He said it best. Knott's was insane on opening night. Fright Lane, worth it, guys. I agree. Mondo and I didn't have Fright Lane. We didn't have media. We just went on opening night as regular guests just to kind of see how it was, see what it's like, and try it all out. And last year it seemed like the crowds were a little bit lighter on opening night. It was not his first year, Mondo, I believe, or was it the second year of the? It was the first Scary Farm of the chaperone policy, but it wasn't the first time they'd been doing the chaperone policy because they've been doing it at the park for quite a while before that. But it was the first Scary Farm that had chaperone policy, to my knowledge. And we saw really lighter crowds last year. But this time around, I feel like Widows and Eight Fingers Nine and just the hype surrounding the Nightmares Revealed event just really brought a lot of people to opening night. It was pretty much crowded most of the night, kind of the way we remembered Scary Farm being in 2019 before the pandemic. So it was definitely long lines. Fright Lane would have been amazing to have on on opening night. But overall, I felt like it kind of goes with what we were saying in regards to the event. It's just a really fun event overall. It's like one of the best haunts that you can go to. I love how everywhere there's something going on, and you don't necessarily need to be in a maze to have fun. We've talked about that a million times,
Yeah.
and that just rang true for us on Thursday night as well.
Yeah, for me, Not Scary Farm, like the overall big picture, it was wonderful. The two new mazes were bangers. We'll go into that detail in a little bit. But as an event, I walked away of like, that was one of the best Not Scary Farms I've ever done. And I feel like I've been doing these Not Scary Farms really like since 2019 and like really tracking them like detail by detail. This was the most well-staffed opening day I ever seen in my life. I don't know if people quit all the time on day one, and mazes and scare zones kind of thin out as the haunt goes because it's a very grueling job to be a scare actor. But from an opening day standpoint, Knott's was just incredible. I've never seen so many monsters in the mazes, and at the same time, I've never seen so many monsters in scare zones. Mainly pointing at like Carnival and the Gauntlet. Those almost Ghost Town Street too, but Carnival and the Gauntlet is the one that really stood out.
Yeah.
Where I was like, wow, there's so many scare actors. This is insane.
Yeah, Natalie's makeup in the chat says, "Yes, watching y'all walk through Carnival was incredible. So many clowns."
And the clowns started from Johnny Rockets all the way to like Supreme Scream. That's a big ass scare zone. If you really think about it, like that amount of that's probably the biggest scare zone. It's a lot of space. But yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the most well staffed knots ever, and the like a couple key takeaways to talk about. I saw monsters I've never seen in these mazes, and it almost felt like new. I don't even know how to say it. It was like a fresh. It was like a fresh take on these old mazes. Bloodline, Waxworks. Those are the two that really stand out with like that in like that thought. What's up, Allier? We got a super chat from Maniac dropping 10. Dropping 10. Man, this year was off the hook. So many monsters, and life never life never been this scared. Almost fell to the ground in a few mazes. I also had an actor grab me and put a knife to my throat. What? I don't think they're supposed to grab you, but damn. Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. Thank you, Maniac. I appreciate the super chat. I talked to a lot of people, and it seems like that everyone had the same sentiment of like, dude, there was like so many actors in cinema slasher and new scenes and this and that. It was like it was kind of shocking, and to me, not Scary Farm. That's always been their rough patch over the last like 3 4 years since the pandemic is that they don't staff things accordingly. So you're just walking through empty rooms. All this hard work to make these mazes look so beautiful, and they're empty rooms. Like it's a shame, and very dark ass rooms. Let me say that. Do you feel like it was very dark ass rooms too, Danny?
Yeah, some of like the Widow's Maze was really dark, like super dark. Um,
And we're not talking evil. We're talking like a visually dark.
yeah, like light wise, like there was not a lot of light. Very dark. There was even a point in Widows where like Mondo didn't even know where he was going.
I
He
didn't know where I
started
was
walking
going.
like towards the employee exit, and the employee had to like turn him around and be like, "No, you gotta
Yeah,
go the other
I,
way."
I remember that, Danny. He's like, no, dude, go that way. Go that way. Oh, man. All right. We got Robin B dropping a super one for speculation. Papa. Robin B, thank you so much for supporting the fire. We love speculating. That's what it's all about. Speculation Sunday. But thank you, Robin. All right. Let's deep dive, Danny. Deep dive. Let's start off with widows. What are your thoughts on widows, man? Old ladies, spiders.
Widows Widows was really good. We made the smart decision to wait for the ceremony, and then as soon as the ceremony was done, we were gonna head straight to Widows. And let me tell you, just a little side note before we get into it. We've been talking about the buffet and how the earlier times of the buffet, like 4:45, 4:30, or whatever it is, and 5 o'clock, are like the really good times, and you have early access to the mazes. We were seeing online pictures on social media, people that were doing the early access buffet, and there was zero wait for widows, whereas like most of the night it was like full to the max. So just keep that in mind. That is a really good value to do that buffet. But I was gonna say, widows overall was definitely my favorite of the two new ones. There was a lot to see, a lot of visual things to look at, a lot of interactive things. The facade was great with the moving spiders and the lady outside, and just it was really creepy. It was making a lot of creaking noises and like spidery noises. It was really drawing people in, and definitely when you walked back there in that back area, everyone was looking at it. Like
Yeah.
they were all looking over at it because it was just drawing you in. The only thing I wish they did on the outside is the projection was too dark. It needed to be like bright, like widows on the outside. But the maze itself was great. There was a good storyline. I felt like I kind of knew what was going on the whole time leading up to the big finale. Um, you got to appreciate the big finale because there's a lot to see in there and not a lot of time to do it. So,
Yeah.
but overall, I give this one. Mondo and I were. It was like just under 8 minutes as a walkthrough, so it was a really long walkthrough. So if you're going in this maze, you're committed. You can't like. It's not going to be like one and done over in like a minute. Like you're stuck in there for a while. So just keep that in mind if like you're not good with that kind of stuff. There are opportunities for you to bail out. It's a little bit more difficult, so just keep that in mind. But Mondo walked out of it, and I walked out of it saying that like it felt like one of the best mazes this year in like all
Yeah.
the parks.
Yeah. Um. So I don't want to show widows right now because I don't know if like everybody in this live stream is down to see scary stuff. So let me ask everybody in this live stream: are you guys cool with seeing some scary stuff? So I can show widows. But while I wait for those answers, widows to me, I only got a chance to do it once. At the end of the night, for some reason, everybody kept piling in, even though it was like almost midnight. Everybody wanted to do widows on opening day, so I only did it once. From my one walkthrough, I loved everything I saw. Uh, there was some points where it was just too damn dark in the like the first 30-40%. I couldn't appreciate the maze because like I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. I can't see, like I can't visually see nothing. And I feel like that kind of like I don't want to say like tainted my walkthrough, but it was just like I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. I'm just walking in a conga line. I guess there's spiders somewhere. Um, but as the maze progressed, and you kind of get through the old ladies, and then you kind of go into nurses, and then maybe doctors are trying to attack you or something, and then it kind of goes into like a spider cult. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. And then we saw like I don't even know how to describe the monsters that we see throughout Widows because they're masked, and then their masks are kind of like they remind me of like clay mask. I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell they were. But eventually, we went into one room where there was actually like spiders and stilts, and I was like, "What the hell?" I'm not for some reason. I'm just not used to stilt walkers and mazes and not scary farms. So when I see it, I'm like, "This is awesome! What? This creativity? Like, what the hell's going on here? This is cool." Everybody's saying yes, yes. For the most part, everybody said
Everyone's
yes.
saying Robert Blick said they went through 16 times on Widows.
Dude, how can you do that? I'm assuming there was some
Fright
fast
Lane.
pass, right? Yeah, or fright lane. I could only do it one. I could have done it twice, obviously, but like I wasn't gonna take a live stream through like a 40-50 minute wait. Um,
Oh, you gotta you gotta edit that title, Mondo.
why? Oh my gosh! It is Nain. It's not
It's
is Nain.
name.
Yeah, how did nobody tell me this whole time? But Minnows to me was really incredible. Like a first impression walking in there, this is not a family friendly maze. This is like brutality. Yeah, like look at that. I don't even know how to describe that. Was that old lady? I guess old lady doctor. I don't know. Like right here, I can't see nothing. Literally nothing. Like yeah, unless that's what they were aiming for, which I don't think they were. But like, I could only imagine how many hours went in that room to like nobody could see it. Um, but Widows as a maze, I walked out of there thinking like this is one of the best mazes I've done this year, and I don't want to say I got scared a lot. It was just more of like visually like whoa, like I just kept saying whoa in my mind many times. Um, it was an incredible maze. The whole concept of spiders, it definitely followed through. And for the people that are not like they don't like spiders, it was about 7 minutes, 8 minutes in there, and to me that felt like eternity. Like I had to turn around and look at Danny. I was like, this shit's still going. That's why I remember telling you that, Danny. I was like, what the hell? We're still walking. Like, when does this end? But yeah, I feel like if it was lit up more, I could appreciate a lot more in there. But hey, it's day one. Maybe they fixed things by now. I don't know. But I love Widows. I love Widows. The finale was really cool too. It was like a jaw dropper to see the queen spider. I guess I don't even know what to call her. Like, look at it. This is just all darkness, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Oh man, let me see. Where's this queen? She's somewhere in here.
She's
Uh,
like the very
uh,
end, literally.
uh, look at it's just darkness, dude. There it is. This is it. There's gonna be a couple. Oh, I already saw it. Hold on, hold on. Right here. Oh my gosh, I gotta go way more back. There we go. So this spider, I wish was lit up way better. I don't even think it needs the whole flashing concept. It just put a bomb ass light. Let people appreciate this insane scene. I've never seen a spider in full gigantiform. Like this is the biggest goddamn spider I ever seen in my life. It was terrifying and very cool at the same time. When I walked out of Widows, though, I was mind blown. I can't. There's no other way to say it than I was mind blown. Uh, and I was just like, I can't wait to do that again. I can't wait to do that again. We got Carrie Woods dropping a super chat. Hell yeah. Thank you, Carrie. I don't see a comment, but I appreciate the support, my friend. Captain EO Queen. That's what we should call her. Also, to Joe Jane, 27 months. Let's go! Joe Jane! What up, Mondo? Danny, so happy. I got married last week. Congratulations! Wow!
Congratulations. Went on
Just got
a
back.
honeymoon.
Just got back from our honeymoon in Alani. Damn. 5 fires. Can't wait. And you got a rip tour? You, my friend, are living the life. Congratulations, Joe. Deserve it, man. Hell yeah. That's freaking awesome, dude. Back to back to back right there. Um, is there any like so we're talking about all these good stuff. Is there any negatives for you, Danny? I haven't heard any like cons. Any areas was it perfect for you?
No, I think Widows was pretty good overall. The only negative I would say would I would agree with some of the lighting. I just don't know how they would transition that because essentially the storyline is you're in a convalescent home that was overrun by mutant spiders. So the convalescent home was like on top of this like cave that was home to these mutant spiders, and essentially like they came through a crack and into the house, killed all of the old people in the convalescent home. And the reason why it looks weird with their masks, because when they mentioned it during Nightmares Revealed, they said the spiders actually live inside the human bodies,
Oh,
and essentially the human beings are just like skin sacks. So there's no bones left, there's no insides. The spiders are just controlling the people. So it's almost like they're wearing their skin. Um, they're trying to attract more humans to come in and like be food for the queen and her babies, right? And so you eventually go through the house and into the cave through the crack, and you descend down into the cave, and things start to get a little weirder. You see like the, the egg set and the people all bundled up in like spider webs that they're feeding to the babies and stuff. And then that's when it starts to get dark, but you're in like a cave, so I don't necessarily know like the way around that. Maybe they could do some like colored thematic lighting that makes it lit up a little bit more. But then eventually it ends up in the queen's chamber, right, where you see the big queen at the very end. This was actually a pretty cool. It's not an animatronic. It's a gigantic spider that's probably like, I don't even know how big it is, but there's a
It's
person
huge.
inside of it. So it's almost like an animatronic puppet. So the person's in it, and but she's actually like floating off the ground, and she's not touching the ground. And it's almost like her spider body's like holding her up. Um, so it's like the final form of like a human mixed with a spider, which is kind of like the whole concept of like the spiders taking over the humans. So that was like the main concept of it all. So that's why the people's masks kind of looked so bad, was because they're like really just spiders wearing like people skin, I guess you could say. So that's how they described it anyway at Nightmares
Hey,
Revealed when they had a little like people talking about it.
if you didn't do Nightmares Reveal, there's no way you're getting that out of that maze. That story that you're saying. But like, I get it. I get it. These the spiders are controlling people. I felt like we were gonna eventually at one point see like a spider in a mouth or something. Like obviously it would be a mask and a spider. I don't remember seeing one of those. But Widows was incredible. I can't wait to do it for sure. Five Fire Maze for me. It's contender for like one of the best mazes. It really is of this year. Um, any other thoughts on Widows?
No, it's really cool. The facade's in the same exact spot that the depths was in, but you enter the maze in a totally different area. So the facade is actually where you enter the maze versus the depths you entered like all the way back in that back corner. So it did allow for a little bit more queuing, I felt like, where it was before. Now the line kind of really, I don't know about you, Mondo, but I felt like all the lines kind of mixed with each other. And before, that space that was where the widow's queue was, right there, all the switchbacks back and forward, that was kind of like more of an open space, and they did like dancing there. They had like a DJ there. Remember, like in past
Yeah,
years, there was like a DJ and like there was like a bar. They did have a bar set up there, but there just wasn't really a lot of room to walk with like um, Bloodlines line running into Eight Fingers Nine line running into Widows. It's like they all kind of like it just becomes this giant web of lines, and there's not really a lot of space back there. So maybe my only complaint is kind of like the way that the you enter the maze. It's like it really compacted everything.
yeah. Uh, Widows, and then the Boogeyman maze being like a hit. Dude, I'm just gonna call it the Knott's backlot. I don't know what else to call it. The Knott's backlot was the most busy I've ever seen it. I don't remember seeing it like that. The Depths never brought the lines like that. Bloodline never did either. Dark Entities for sure never brought lines like that. Paranormal did. I can't knock Paranormal. Paranormal was always packed. But now we have like every single maze is a banger in that back corner. Everything. Waxworks, Bloodline.
Um, Arnott's Adventure posted in the chat, Mondo, because Dodger 4040 said, "I love Not Scary Farm. I'm nitpicking here. I felt Chambers erased the creeper, comma old lanterns over new lantern. No Sarah Marshall roaming. If I had any negatives, Five Fires event, best SoCal haunts in my opinion." And then Arnott's Adventure said they had issues with the sensors and the new lanterns. That's why they weren't doing as much. We heard they were working on it and hoping by week 2 the lanterns will do more stuff in the mazes. I have the old lantern, and I had no problems activating stuff.
The
And
original one worked
on
better.
the Andre was with us though, and he had the new lantern, and his activated like the Jaguar one. Um, his activated
The entrance.
the entrance one. So like it was doing some of them. The only thing I noticed not our Knott's adventure is that we had that same BS that we had last year, Jen, in the sense that um, we were encouraged last year to bring the lanterns in the mazes and have them on. Right, that was part of the thing because the mazes themselves changed the colors of the lamps. Specifically, when we were in Bloodline 1842 last year, the lamps change to purple when you're in all the vampire areas, and it just makes it look really cool and adds to the thematicness of it all. And in fact, a lot of the lanterns would like interact, or a lot of the vampires in the maze would interact with your lantern once it turned purple, like in the pub and all that stuff. Well, we had issues on opening night last year where the associates at Knott's were telling people to turn the lanterns off before they walked into the maze. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, this is so dumb. This is why you told us to buy them, to bring them in the mazes and to activate the lantern activations outside. Why are we turning them off in the maze? And I remember we were like kind of arguing with the associates at room 13 because they were telling us to turn it off. And we're like, no, they literally told us to leave it on and go in the maze. But
I remember that.
quickly that was quickly changed right
Yeah,
away,
there was like a
and
manager
they
right away
remedied
was
that, and
like,
no one ever
"No,
said anything about having it.
put them on, put them on."
Yeah, but then this year, I was gonna tell Jen. This year, we went to Bloodline 1842, and there was two associates outside Bloodline 1842 yelling at every single person, "Turn off your lantern! Turn off your lantern! You can't have it on when you go inside." I didn't even want to bother arguing with them, but I'm like, literally, it said like your advertisement when you're buying it says to turn it on when you're in the mazes, like. But I didn't say anything. I just turned off my lantern and walked through the maze. But I was just disappointed because it's like you run into that a lot with Knott's is like there's not a lot of communication with like what's allowed, what's not allowed. And there was just associates telling people to turn their lanterns off in the mazes, and that's not the official rule. So
Our Knott's Adventure says, uh, "Where to go? Look at this, Danny. The problem with the new lantern is that it only has one sensor. The old one had two sensors, so they work stronger." I don't know about these new lanterns, man. Oh. Before we go into Boogeyman, is the lantern experience worth it? Should I spend $40 to buy a lantern? At least from what you did, Danny, because there was a lot of lantern experiences that we did not do. But do you think it was worth it? Because I know you love the lantern.
yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's great. I love bringing it in the mazes, especially. I had many characters interact with me. Sarah Marshall was walking around in Ghost Town. I saw some people saying they didn't like that Sarah Marshall wasn't walking around. We happened to run across the time she was walking around, and she was mad that my lantern wasn't green. So she was like making me turn my lantern green. So that was kind of fun. But like the interactions were pretty cool. Like the little moments that you could cause happen with your lantern. Bringing him in the maze was fun. All that kind of stuff. But I think it's great for $39, especially if you plan on going multiple times. But even then, it's a pretty fun souvenir either way. Um,
And you
I
get to
personally am not
activate
like really
Steve.
yeah, Steve. I'm personally not a fan of the spider on it. So if I had it, I'd probably like turn it off or something.
Yeah. I think the lantern's worth it. I bought one last year and I took it like maybe three times, four times. It was fun every single time. And the fact that like the monsters interact with you through Scare Zone, that's all. That's worth it even more. Um, I wish there was like a common like, hey, if you put it in this color, in this Scare Zone, it's gonna attract the monsters instead of like the Scaredy Cat color thing. That one's just don't scare me. It'd be cool if the lantern could be like, hey, if it's red in Carnival, scare that person. If it's green in Ghost Town Streets or Goring 20s, scare that person more. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be cool to do something like that. The gazebo in Fiesta Village is a lantern interaction. We didn't know about it. Yeah, has Knott's put like a guide of all the interactions? I felt like they didn't last year. Supposedly there was supposed to be one. We just never got it. Kind of how Disneyland sells you magic bands, but it doesn't tell you nothing of where they interact with at all. One of the stupidest
Yeah, the
selling
problem was
points.
Mondo. Last year they gave us a map. Last year they gave us a map of all the interactions of the lantern, and they didn't actually turn all of them on. So like there wasn't like the map would tell you to go to like the main entrance, for instance, and there wasn't one there, but there is this year. So I don't know if there was even a map this time around.
Yeah. Jamie Lit, baby girl comes this week, so I might be MIA. Congratulations. Man, don't even worry about it, man. I'm so happy for you. Also, too, I don't want to skip out on this. We got Dragon Blood. What's up, Monzo? Fire. It's my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Can we get some birthday cakes in the chat? Let's spam some birthday cakes. Let me birthday. There we go. I'll spam the birthday cake too. All right. Lantern is worth it. You're thinking about it, just do it. It's fun. If you're like a brother and sister, just buy one. I don't think you need two. Just buy one. One lantern's enough. All right. Eight Fingers Nine, Danny. This is the one where I had no expectation. This is the one that took over Dark Entities. So anything was better than Dark Entities. And I was pleasantly surprised. I did it twice. It was that good. Let's hear your opinion first, Dan. The good and the bad. Let me know.
Yeah, this maze was scary for sure. It had a lot to look at, a pretty good storyline. I think my favorite part about this maze was the moment that you walk into the maze, you're immediately scared by a stilt walker. Like right off the bat, there's a stilt walker that gets you before. And they did this. They did this really cool thing in this maze where they brought like a courtyard kind of. It's almost like how Chilling Chambers, how you like walk into that like outdoor courtyard outside of the asylum.
Yeah.
Similar thing, like you walk into like a forest and then you get scared by a stilt walker, and then right after that you're in this like outdoor courtyard. There's the stilt walker right there. Dang, that one got
So
me really good,
cool.
really good.
I love when Nasta Stillwalkers.
Uh,
They
but yeah,
create
you're in
a
this
lot of
like courtyard
scenes.
outside all these homes.
I was gonna say they create a lot of
It's just
scenes
like
where
very
you're
good
outside.
sets. Yeah, a lot of good sets, a lot of everything like that. This is the boogeyman, and the boogeyman's kind of scary. Someone mentioned it in the chat earlier. His hair kind of like is like oily, greasy, black, long hair, and it like covers his face. So it's very like the Grudge movie, like the girl with the
Yeah.
Grudge. So it gives Grudge vibes. So I was getting like, and someone else said that in the movie. It's giving Grudge vibes with it all. But it was there was a lot of really cool scares in this one. Um, there was some fun interactive moments where like the monsters like kind of like doing something to a dummy, like he's eating their fingers, right? And then
Yeah.
like you don't necessarily know that it's gonna scare you, but like he like turns around and like jumps at you, kind of situation. So there were some really fun moments in this one. Um, but I felt like this one was I don't know, it just felt short to me, a little shorter
This
than Widows.
is like 7 minutes too, Daddy.
It felt short to
May-
me. I don't know.
Maybe it was one of those like you're having too much fun, so it's just like time flies by. But keep going, keep going, keep going. I want to hear. I want to hear all your thoughts.
No, but yeah, it was good overall. It's really hard to pick up like what's happening here. Um, they kind of did a little mesmer situation where there's a narrator spanning the entirety of the whole maze. So you're hearing like the eight fingers nine like fairy tale poem being read in the background as you move from room to room. And it's like you're supposed to be like walking through the fairy tale, old wives' tale, whatever, unfolding as they read it. And it's hard to kind of pick up the story. We knew the story, right? It's a take on the boogeyman. So he is the boogeyman, and this version of the boogeyman uh, causes sleep paralysis, and then he eats your fingers one at a time, and then the rest of your body. Um, and so he like was kind of like this really tall figure that had like bone hands hanging from his costume, and like just creepy guy kind of situation. I didn't really know what was happening. Like when they got to this part in the woods here, he was talking about the roots would twist around their bodies, and like there was like people in the trees, but I'm like, I don't get how it got to this. Like does he eat their fingers and then he like gives them to like a tree god or something? Like I didn't really know. It was hard for me to pick up on the storyline. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So
Um, for me too. I feel like for Eight Fingers Nine, I was able to like disconnect from the storyline a little bit and just kind of like appreciate the visuals that were going on at every single point of this maze. To me, Eight Fingers Nine was extremely gory. Having people walk up to you with like missing three fingers, like he's eating my finger, you know. And I was like, oh gosh, really messed up maze. Uh, I loved Eight Fingers Nine. I was shocked. I didn't go into it thinking like this is one of my favorite mazes I've ever done in Not Scary Farm, but it was definitely like it felt like that. Boogeyman had great scares, very good sets. The whole time I was in Boogeyman, there's like 10,000 things to look at, and I barely had a chance to look at 500 of them. So the repeatability in Boogeyman is very high. Like you could do that one like 5 times, and it's incredible every single time. Also, too, to note, extremely well staffed. There was like monsters at every corner, and Knott's was even using like goat heads and stuff, like kind of like how HHN does with Monstros, the Kukui. They're like heads. They also do it for Quiet Place, where the Death Angels they like puppets that move at you. Knott's was doing that, and I was like, that's cool. I love stuff like that. It's very cool. Boogeyman to me, I almost want to say I enjoyed it more than Widows, Danny. I don't know if it's because I did it twice and we had two banger walkthroughs, but Boogeyman was just good. I really appreciated all the craziness. Like, Boogeyman's really hard to describe because you're like in this old time period. You're outside, you're inside. It's paranormal and crazy stuff happening in there. I think you even go into his mouth at one point. It's just a crazy ass
yeah.
maze. Yeah, Boogeyman lived up to the hype, in my opinion. If you were to start
So
off Knots like with Boogeyman or Widows, whichever one you do, it's just a great start to your event. What were you gonna say, Daddy?
um, I was just gonna say, Brady McDonald usually writes articles for like Disney parks and stuff. You've seen his stuff before. Um, they wrote an article that basically was talking about like kind of the behind the scenes of it all, and they said that it's from a Grimm's fairy tale. So Grimm's fairy tales, like there's many famous Halloween things that are from Grimm's fairy tales, but it's a Grimm's fairy tale that's gone horribly wrong, where a vengeful boogeyman eats people while they sleep, starting with their fingers. Um, and it's basically starting in a children's orphanage, and you actually go into an orphanage in the maze. I don't know if you remember that, Mondo.
At the
Like
very
there's like the
beginning?
kids that were like remember all the like the kids that were dead and stuff, and like
Ugh.
they had like their toys and things like that. But yeah, there was a lot of occultish stuff in this maze. Very 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 very
Eh,
scary maze.
it's very scary. Boogeyman is very scary ass maze.
Yeah. The Eight Fingers Nine. The article says the Eight Fingers Nine fairy tale grew out of stories told by children of the orphanage about a monster who would suddenly materialize in their rooms in search of his former tormentors. The name comes from a children's rhyme that the kids have created about what has happened throughout the town. The monster comes from magical woods and starts eating people while they sleep. The tree of woe that the bullies tied the boy to gave the orphan magical powers that allowed him to travel through anything made of wood, trees, roots, doors, and walls. I guess that explains like the tree monster thing about it all.
Mm.
So I don't know. There's a lot of backstory here that I did not know about.
I loved it. I love Boogie. I give this one 5 fires as well. Boogeyman was a banger, man. Very scary, very long, extremely detailed. Just details on details on detail. Like everywhere I look, there's like I said, a thousand things to look at in this one corner. It's very cool, very cool. Uh, let's talk about some of the old mazes. Waxworks and Bloodline. These are the four mazes that are in that back corner. Waxworks and Bloodline were incredible walkthroughs on opening day. I didn't expect it to be great walkthroughs at all. Like I have to be honest, I didn't expect those mazes to be good. Bloodline was. I kept talking to people throughout the night, and everybody had the same sentiment that like I think Bloodline's my favorite. I'm like, what? Until we finally did it, and I was like, wow, I've never seen that many monsters in Bloodline. How do you feel about Bloodline and Waxworks, Danny?
Yeah, Bloodline was great. Bloodline was my favorite last year. And this year, with its final year, it was just 10 out of 10. There was so much going on, so many monsters. The only negative was the associates outside the maze telling us to turn our lanterns off. But
I
other
feel like
than
that
that,
scarred you. That scarred you, Danny.
other than that, it's like I just couldn't believe how many. Like Mondo couldn't believe it either. He kept looking at me like, "Oh my gosh!
Look
Like
how
what
many
in the
monsters!
world?"
I can't believe how many monsters.
Like
Like,
he just couldn't believe how many actors.
dude, a fully staffed Knott's house, even if it's old, like 5 years old, who cares? They're incredible because all the storytelling comes to life more, and the scares are everywhere. Um, to talk about, I feel like we haven't really talked about this. How do you feel the scary was in Scary Farm? You know, Fright Fest Extreme, calling themselves Extreme. I haven't said this until now. Knott's felt very extreme. They could have easily called themselves not Scary Farm Extreme because I felt like it was, man. Scary Farm was totally extreme. How do you feel about the scary aspect of Scary Farm?
Yeah, it was definitely the two new mazes were super scary. The scare zones had a lot of actors and actresses in it that were bringing the scares. Ghost Town was off the charts with how many people were in there. Same with Carnival. The only scare zone that was kind of really lacking this time around was Goring 20s.
Yeah.
Whereas last year, Goring 20s was like Mondo's favorite. Like Mondo spent so much time in Goring 20s. He was like the number one Goring 20s fan last year.
Yeah, going
Um,
20s.
he
It
was
just
all
didn't
about it. But
hit.
this year,
Didn't hit on
yeah,
opening
this year
day.
just didn't hit. At least on opening night, it didn't hit. Um, the Forsaken Lake was great. Lots of stuff going on in Forsaken Lake. So
Even
even in the
Forsaken Lake
Gauntlet
had
too.
like 50 monsters. It felt like it was so many. It was crazy. The processional
Yeah.
montage, man.
Uh huh. And the Gauntlet um, was great too. Let me just tell you, we did Widows, and then after Widows, we did Eight Fingers Nine, and after we did the two mazes, we left the new area in the back, and just basically did all the shows in all the different scare zones. So we went to like Ghost Town streets. We like watched some stuff that was going down in Ghost Town streets. Then we left there and we went to um, um, Charleston Square where Goring 20s was. There was a show going on in Goring 20s that you could watch there. That was taking time. Then we went to the one at the slider show that happened at the Gauntlet. and then we did the Forsaken Lake show that happened there. So like we were doing so much stuff, and we never once even went in a maze. Like
Yeah.
we only did like the two new mazes, and then like did all these shows that happen inside the scare zones that aren't even mazes. And then we went back and did mazes when we had some more people join our group. It wasn't even until that point. So we had a good time. We weren't even doing mazes.
Yeah. And I've said that last week before it all started. That's a difference maker of Not Scary Farm is that you could just do scare zones. You're gonna have a blast. You're face to face with like literally hundreds of monsters throughout the whole. There's a scare zone everywhere at Scary Farm, man. Everywhere, literally everywhere. And I think it's incredible. It's really good, especially like the staffing they had. It was just it was, to me, opening day Scary Farm this year was my favorite Scary Farm I think I've ever attended, in my opinion. And I didn't even do all the mazes. It was just I had such a blast. I think our great night. I think Danny was because we didn't even do the hanging. I think that kind of contributed to us having a good time. We got Jamie Lynn. What about the hanging? I heard it's bad this year. I have seen zero. I've stayed spoiler free from the hanging, but like visually. But from the people that I've talked to about the hanging, they all said it was really bad. The jokes just do not land, and they're really trying to poke fun at Disney in many different ways, and it's just not working. So when you're trying to poke the Big Bear, which is Disney, and then it's not funny, it's like, well, you look like the dummy. You know what I mean? And I think that's how it's like playing out, and that's like multiple people have told me that, not like one person nitpicking or something. Have you heard the same thing about the hanging?
I have, yeah, I'd heard a lot of people say it just wasn't very fun. Very interesting to watch. So there's some there's some fans that love that kind of stuff, and so they would really enjoy that. It's just not something that I would want to do, to be
And,
honest.
and then the person that they hanged was like, "What?" I'm not gonna spoil it. It was just more of like, I don't need to watch that show. Are you kidding me? Sandy Claus becoming a Fire member one more time.
I think for me, I think for me, Mondo, I don't want to watch a show during a haunt that just brings to life all the real world stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to just be taken out of the real world.
Yeah, I'm there to like have a good time, be immersed in like the scariness of it all. I don't want to be, over here hanging P Diddy, because everyone, of what's happening to him right now. Like, I don't want to think about P Diddy when I'm at a scary farm. I just want to enjoy the event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, I
So
like I like bad jokes just as much as anybody. I saw the hanging last year, and I enjoyed some of it. A lot of it was kind of like, I don't think I should be live streaming this. That's what I remember last year, Daddy. I was like, it's just so inappropriate. But that's what that show is. I get it. I'm not here to hate on it. I'll watch it for sure. I'll probably watch it this week coming up, and I'll give you my true opinion, or at least what I think. But I know the hang
we gotta
does
see what
change.
Mondo thinks too on the Elvira experience on just a regular night, the one where she's
Oh,
not
dude,
there and the show's
Elvira
just taking
experience
place.
was amazing. Not There was no Elvira experience. Opening day, a regular person couldn't go in the theater because if I didn't pay $80 and then buy merch to then have her sign it, I couldn't go in there. I don't. I saw a video of what it looked like, but I was kind of like, I almost want to stay spoiler free so I could see the Elvira stuff for the first time in person. Did you hear any good or bad of people that actually got to see the Museum of Elvira? What'd you hear?
No, I mean I didn't. I don't. Not a lot of people got to do the show because it didn't take place that day. So I don't know if Arnott's Adventure had a chance to see the show yet on Saturday or Sunday.
Um, you want my honest opinion? I still don't even know what that Elvira experience is. show? Do I look at stuff? Something happened at midnight? Do people come out? Do they literally just play a video and they have people watch it in there? I don't know. I have no freaking clue. Um, Knott's Berry Farm. What are you looking for? Or Not Scary Farm? What are you looking forward to coming back like a week two, Danny? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'd love to do Widows again. I'd love to do Eight Fingers 9 again. I want to do all the mazes we didn't get to do. We didn't even walk through Cinema Slasher,
I
Mondo.
know.
Um,
That was a
we
crime. We should
didn't
have done it. We should have done
we didn't do Mesmer. We didn't do Cinema Slasher. Um, what was the other new maze last year?
Grimoire, Chilling Chambers.
Chilling Chambers. But we didn't go through Chilling Chambers. We didn't go to Grimoire. Uh,
The
we didn't
one
do
that
Origins.
I just don't even want to walk over there is Mesmer. Like I don't even want to walk over there. Like I think I'm retired Mesmer. I don't even care if they change things. I'm retiring it, dude. I'm good. I'm good on Mesmer.
You're you're retiring Mesmer.
I do. I can't wait to do Cinema Slasher on like week two, and the new mazes and Bloodline and Waxworks. Like I can't wait to do everything again. Origins too. I'm really sad that I missed out on Origins, but man, I can't wait. Like the feeling I had when I left Not Scary Farm was like, I can't wait to come back. This event was so good. That's all I kept thinking in my head was like, Scary Farm really did an incredible job. Like as an event, I'm telling you, it was my best opening day experience I've ever had for me personally. Like I can't even relate to a different year where I'm like, that was the one year where like it was the best. I feel like this year is the best, and I think it revolves around staffing. These mazes have a ton of monsters, which means a lot more scares than you're ready for, and that's a good thing because that's what we go to these events for, to be scared. So I just want to say thank you, Not Scary Farm, man. You guys, everybody did incredible job. All the scare actors in the mazes, uh, all the teams that made these things come to life, incredible, and all the scare zone monsters. You guys are like the chef's kiss to this beautiful event. I loved every minute of being in the fog, and to talk about the fog, I've never been fogged up so much. The damn fog ever. I couldn't get away from the fog. Do you feel like that too?
There was a lot of fog. I want to know how many buckets of fog juice they go through.
Yeah, that has to be like one of their biggest expenses, fog. Like, dude, they burn through fog like crazy, which is cool. It just sets the tone throughout the whole event. All the decorations and fog and monsters everywhere. It was really really good. Um, uh, Closing thoughts on Scary Farm, Danny, and then I'm just gonna open it up to Q&A, dude. Q&A.
Um, the Some people were asking about the Nobu necklaces. They were selling those again. It was pretty clear, in my opinion, who was wearing them. It's like very evident. It was like purple. The whole necklace lights up, including the rope part of it. So it's not just the little cat at the end that doesn't light up. So I just wanted to mention. It seemed like they were respecting that. So it's not guaranteed, but it's certainly a good deterrent. It's not going to mix in based on that color with any other light that people are carrying around. So I think that's a good thing if someone was really wanting to do that. But overall, I agree with you, Motto. My sentiments are pretty similar. I loved the event. Scary Farm's usually my favorite. I know there's a little bit of biases because this event was like in the low 60s and HHN opening night was 106. So that aspect of it made it a little bit difficult. But I feel like they both had some really great positives. But Scary Farm, I feel, just creeps ahead with like the ability to be in an event that you don't have to just go through mazes to have a good time and be immersed in the whole experience of it all. Um, I feel like too, um, the I think the overall theme, in my opinion, and I don't know if Jen Arnott's Adventure agrees, but I feel like just the aspect of like getting into Scary Farm with security, and then getting into the park, and then into the holding area. it just felt like, even though it was crowded, it still felt organized. I still felt like I knew what I was doing. Um, and the same was with HHN too. So I feel like maybe they're both kind of learning a little bit. There was a period where like the line kind of got a little crazy, like before security, but
Yeah.
that was just kind of like, I think, opening night chaos. But I feel like
Yeah, because
inside the event,
before the event started, there was a huge line for the entrance, a huge line for media, two lines for buffet, one line because people are just standing to be in a line, but they're not doing anything. Like there was just lines everywhere.
yeah. So I feel like overall though, like inside the event, things are pretty organized, um, and I felt like uh, I never once someone earlier, like very very early in the chat, I can't remember who it was, but they said we had a really safe, fun time, and it just felt like a really great environment. And I feel the same way.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Danny. I thought I had no issues. Like unruly feel or something. I never felt that in Not Scary Farm at all. Um, I had nothing, nothing of that nature. Like I can't even think of anything. Scary Farm was just a blast, man. If you're thinking about going to Scary Farm, just do it. I can't emphasize that enough. Do it. It's worth it. If you could afford, you're trying to do a bunch of mazes, obviously get front of the line. But I think if you don't do front of the line, you're still going to have a lot of fun if you show up at opening or go the route of buffet. Buffet really just puts you ahead by like 5 months. You're ahead of the curve uh, way more. Uh-oh. Can you hear me, Danny?
What happened there?
I dropped my water. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Stand by. Can you hear me?
You dropped your water on your computer?
Yeah. Is it still working? Damn, this is a resilient ass computer. Or can you hear me? Is it still working?
It's barely working. It's like, it sounds like you are underwater actually.
Oh my gosh. Uh, you talk real quick. I need to go get laughing. What the?
Yeah. Corey says, "Are you guys going to Dark Harbor?" We don't have any plans right now to go to Dark Harbor, or at least I don't. I know Mondo wanted to. I don't know. I think that's next week. I think his media event for that is next week. I'm not gonna go to Dark Harbor, but I know that there's a lot of people that like did a preview of that already, and they posted a bunch of stuff on social media. I think yesterday. So, oh, it's opening up a Windows, Mondo.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I don't know what's happening right now. Uh oh. Uh oh. All right. Do I sound good?
No, you sound like you're underwater.
I don't get why it's like that. That's so weird. I wonder if it's hold on, hold on.
I think it switched. I think it switched to your computer mic and not your Yeti.
Alright. Hello. Can you hear me now?
That sounds better. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
sounds way
god.
better.
Literally just dropped like my whole water on. Dude, a MacBook can take a water spill. Holy smoke. Probably my mic's wrecked, but that's okay. I don't need the mic. We got the Yeti. Oh my god. Jazzy,
Jesse
thank you
House
for becoming
says
a member.
Jesse House says he's going swimming.
Yeah, dude, it felt like it. I wanted my water. There's like a little bit of. All right, I need to be more careful when I'm grabbing the water. But Jazzy, thank you. Sorry, all this fiasco over here. Um,
Mike Avila says Mondo sounds like he's under the Dark Harbor.
I'm getting in theme. I'll be at the Dark Harbor next week. They have a media event that they invited me. I thought it was I thought it was on Friday. I literally told Tim, I was like, Tim, I want you to come with me to Dark Harbor. And come to find out, their media event is week 2. And I was like, should I buy a ticket for week 1? It's kind of redundant to like week 1, week 2. I don't know. Because, like, is it worth it? Not worth it? I have no idea. From the people I did talk to, everybody had a blast. I was expecting like mixed reviews, but I feel like predominantly everybody said they loved Dark Harbor. Like it was a blast. And I think they had 3 mazes that would go in the Queen Mary. So that's really cool to hear. I want to open it up to Q&A. Let me see.
Oh, your mic went out again, but then it came back.
Oh my gosh. I'm just not going to touch anything. uh,
I think you need to dry off your computer.
yeah. Jazzy, I don't know anybody that did Midnight Breakfast. One thing we did find out about Midnight Breakfast is that Sutter's in the park is part of Midnight Breakfast or whatever, which confused the hell out of me.
I don't know.
I thought it was
Arnott's
only
Adventure said it's just the restaurant.
Nah, I'm getting mixed. I'm just going to go with Arnott's Adventure. I trust her more than anybody. Never mind. Disregard what I just said. You want Midnight Breakfast after Scary Farm, it's at Miss Knott's Chicken Dinner. And I don't even know how much it costs. Originally, I thought it was $25, and it's something else now.
Arnott's Adventure says that they've only seen negative reviews about the Midnight Breakfast.
Damn! How, though? It's Miss Knott's Chicken Dinner. Like, how are they messing that up? I don't get it. All right. Let's open up to Q&A, everybody. Q&A. Post in the comments. What do you guys want to talk about? We'll start going through many of the questions or topics. Let me see. We did Wing Nike. I saw she asked about that. Put your computer in a bag of rice. I think I'm going to have to. I literally dropped like full on water. I'm shocked this is still working. Dude, MacBooks are a beast. It's crazy. Mesmer was great this year, Mondo. You should not skip it. I've already done it for like 4 years, bro. I think I'm good. And Mesmer will never be as good as year 1. They've destroyed the opening scene, so I think I'm okay. I'm okay on Mesmer. All right. Post your questions. Let's open up to Q&A. I think somebody commented about the breakfast CG6 Venom. All it is chicken and standard eggs, sausage, etc. Like a hotel breakfast, basically. What the heck? What? Someone needs to tag me.
If you pay at the door. Knott's Adventure says it's $25 if you pay at the door, $22 if you pay online in advance. But the menu's super basic. They have like 5 to 6 food options at the buffet.
Huh. I will be doing it at some point, so be on the lookout.
Well, you only got 2 more days, right? That's it.
Wait, what happened?
I said you only have 2 more days, right? That's it.
2 more days of what?
I thought the Midnight Breakfast only happened on 3 nights. Is that right?
Are you kidding me? This is not every night? I thought this Midnight Breakfast thing was every night. Man, hey, I just want to throw it out there.
I don't
Knott's marketing sucks at Midnight Breakfast and the details. They literally Knott sucks at it. It's like we keep track of all these cool stuff and we don't know anything. Like it's crazy. I am Brie Marie. 9 freaking more. So excited to be there in October for Halloween in Disneyland. Keep it up, guys. Fire! Also, dropped a $2 super sticker. Thank you, Bree. We're so close. You're coming at the best weather at Disneyland Halloween time. But thank you, Bree. 29 months. What's the best time to go to Disney?
Knott's Adventure says it's Our Knott's Adventure says it's every Friday night and Saturday night until the end of Scary Farm. So just Friday and Saturday night. That's it.
Wow. If we didn't have our Knott's Adventure, I would. It's not on the website. I remember looking it up on the website on opening day. There was nothing. So maybe they've updated it. I don't know. So Friday, Saturday, you want midnight breakfast? That's the time to do it. So I'll be there on a Friday, Saturday, I guess. I want to do the midnight breakfast. I want to review that. Uh, what's the best time to go to Disney, Danny? Very good question. We're creeping up in October.
Sunday, Monday are the worst days to go. Um, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are better. Friday's a little better, but the longer you stay at the park, it's gonna get busier after 5. It's just how it works at Disneyland because people come after work who are local, or after school. So just know, if you're trying to pick a weekday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is probably the better days to pick. Monday's the literal, probably most crowded day of the week now, even more than Saturday. Mondo witnessed that too.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
it's,
gotta you
it's
gotta you gotta be avoiding that Monday. That's all I can basically say. But I think right now it's hard because it's like there's a lot of extra things. Like there's discount tickets out there, like where you could, like, the kids come in cheaper, or there was a bunch of different promotions they had going on,
like a fit.
and those tickets are like kind of reaching. Yeah, like those tickets are kind of like reaching the end of their lifetime. So a lot of people are trying to use those before they expire. So
And we have
right
the
now
Oogie
it's kind of
Boogies.
tough.
Oogie Boogies like wrecking DCA too.
Hmm.
I would say like
Mike Avila.
I was gonna say one day to go out of the week. For me personally, I would probably go on Saturday. That's like your best day to go. Uh,
Yeah.
you would never think that, but from my experience over like the last like year and a half, 2 years, Saturdays are amazing. I love Saturdays. What were you gonna say, Daddy?
I was just gonna say, the next question that we got was from Mike Avila. He said, "Did we try any of the new food offerings for Scary Farm?" We did try one of them. Well, we
Yep.
tried a few at the media event, but we also tried, but that was kind of like different, right? It's not going to be prepared the same way that it would be on a regular night. We just got a regular offering for, one of the new burgers that's at Sutter's Grill in
Bang.
Ghost Town. It was called the Zombie Apocalypse Firecracker Burger. Arnott's Adventure thought it was a great burger. Mondo thought it was a great burger, but they both said there wasn't too much that was firecracker about it. There is a Chipotle ranch that comes on the burger, which maybe has a little bit of spice. And they have these like, you know how there's like crispy onions on things? Well, they have that same concept, but there's like crispy jalapenos. But they're not really like all that all that spicy, I guess you could say. This one was all Mondo. He had the burger. I didn't have any of it because I can't have the ranch that's on it. Um, but they both said it was a great burger. And Mondo said it was probably one of the better burgers he's had at Knott's Berry Farm in general. I mean, it's the only time I've seen Mondo finish the burger all the
It,
way through.
it's not very often that I even think something like that. Like, wow, this is a tasty burger at Knott's. Like, I don't really think that very often. But yeah, that firecracker burger. You're going to Scary Farm, just go to Sutter's and get that firecracker burger. But do not wait till 5:30 like we did when the park closes. They had one cook and a long ass line. So go around like 3ish. Go get the burger around 3. Jen, Mondo, I got media for Dark Harbor. It's my first time doing a media event like this. Any tips? Um, my biggest tip, and I feel like sometimes I have trouble listening to myself. Show up early. Scope out things. Have an understanding of like, okay, this is over here. Kind of scope out how your day's gonna go. I feel like a lot of people sometimes do media event. They show up late. They don't even care. Like, I'm just going through the the what is it called, through the numbers, just whatever. Every time I do a media event, I always try to do my best to bring the exposure to whatever event I'm trying to do. I feel honored if I ever get chosen for media on stuff, but I'm glad you got chosen, Jen. People really love Dark Harbor. SoCalorific, I think she just did a video. Adam the Woo, I think, just did a video. I can't wait to see, and I can only imagine they're probably still finishing lots of stuff at Dark Harbor. So maybe week 2 it's going to be an incredible event. For you, Jen, my biggest tip: bring extra memory cards and battery, because I know you're going to be taking a lot of photos. Um, Let me see. Paulo, hey Mondo, it was really cool seeing you and saying hello last Thursday on the Mark Twain. Hey, nice meeting you too, dude. Hope you had a good Disney day, man. Midnight Breaky is every Friday, Saturday. Okay, man, I'm like way behind. I do have a question regarding Villains Land. Oh, damn. Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World. What do you, Mondo, and Danny think is the second attraction? I'm just dropping everything today. I think it's a dark ride similar to the new Avengers e-ticket. Wow, that's the first time I've heard that. But I don't doubt it. Disney loves cloning stuff, so dude, have you heard anything like that? That's a crazy one. I haven't heard nothing about a clonage of Avenger e-ticket ride. What do you think, Danny?
No, I mean it makes sense. Mondo, like they said, they like to reuse ride systems, right? We have Rise of the Resistance at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and then we have Zootopia Hot Pursuit. That's another Rise of the Resistance kind of ride situation going on. We have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, similar situation. So like they like to reuse a lot of the ride systems. We know that the ride system for the Avengers e-ticket attraction is going to be similar to Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure from Tokyo Disney in their Fantasy Springs area. So it would make sense if Disney World got their own version of it in some other form or fashion. So I'm still thinking that our Coco boat ride is probably going to be the same exact thing as the Rapunzel boat ride.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying that, Danny. But all I ever hear is Rapunzel's really short. So why the hell are we gonna
Yeah,
get
I think ours is
Coco
going to be
ride?
really short too. I don't think it's going to be
Why?
long.
Why do a short Coco ride? It's so whack. Flush it out. Pirates of the Caribbean style, please. What? Oh man. I that's a conversation for a different day, I guess. But I could totally see Avenger e-ticket ride be the second attraction of Villains Land, because what other way do you I don't want to say cheaply, but what other way do you bring multiple villains to life at the same time than using screens? And Avenger e-ticket ride is going to be a lot of screens. But I don't mind if they physical set, animatronic, and screens. That's sounds good to me. And they already have a good ride system. That ride system they're going to use, it's going to be good. Man, that's the first time I heard that. Thank you for that question. I'll ask people. That's a good one. Can you use your all year meal plan during Not Scary Farm? I'll let Danny take this one. The answer is no, but what can you use? We use it a lot.
Yeah, we use it a lot. You cannot use your meal plan during Scary Farm. That's why I recommend getting to Knott's early before the park closes. Go into the park, use your Scary Farm or use your season pass all day dining on Scary Farm food options, because the Scary Farm food options this year are not just limited to inside the event; they're in the day as well too at these specific places. So you can get them on your meal plan just during the day during regular hours. So we got to the park early. We got in there and we got our meal plan meals before the park closed. But during the event, you can use your drink plan. So if you have the all season drink plan, whether that's the paper cup option or the bottle, you can bring that with you. And we used that probably like 5 or 6 times
At
during
least,
the event.
dude, worth every dollar.
Yeah, so it was great. So you can do the drink plan, just can't do the dining plan.
Yeah, you gotta show up early if you want that dining. But soda plan during Scary Farm is gold. Every time you use it, it's like you're saving like $6. Soda ain't cheap at Knott's Berry Farm. Question: Is there anything new going on at Disneyland now and before Tiana's opening? Uh, no, I'm gonna say no. Maybe the railroad opens finally. I can't think of nothing new. Tiana's is the new thing. uh,
Yeah, there's not too much going on that's new before Tiana's opens because we're on the home stretch here. I don't think we're going to see anything else debut before then.
we got Johnny dropping a super chat. What? $20. I saw on X/Twitter some people are saying HHN needs a chaperone policy that teens were running around being annoying. People I have ripped tour, I don't have to deal with that. But did you or Danny experience anything like that? So I want to comment a little bit on this. For some reason, I keep getting that weird stuff, or not weird, but I keep getting those Twitter posts on my feed too that people are like really wanting chaperone policy. So I looked into it a little bit. They're talking about Florida. I have not, at least as far as I know, I haven't seen anybody like asking for it or giving these like bullet point reason of Hollywood. For me personally, I had no issues. No issues. Hollywood, Scary Farm, Fright Fest. There's young people at all these events. No issues. Scary Farm does have the chaperone policy, and Fright Fest does too, but they kind of do one adult for 10 young people. So it's like, what? I There's no way one adult is taking care of 10 people. It ain't gonna happen, and they're for sure not staying together. But I haven't had no issues. No issues on my end. What about you, Danny?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, on my experience going to Scary Farm, I think we didn't experience that. Obviously, they have a chaperone policy in place, but at HHN, I didn't. We didn't really experience that either. But we went opening night, and again, it was like 105 the day that we got there, so that kind of kept a lot of people away. There wasn't a lot of shenanigans happening in 105 degrees because people just had no energy. So so that wasn't too bad, but I can imagine on other nights how it could be an issue. Um, I feel like with Universal though, their security is like really on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't mess around at Universal.
Honestly,
They
though,
don't mess.
same
They
thing
don't.
with
There's no room for
Knotsnot.
messing around over there.
Hey, same thing with Knotsnot, dude. They got Buena Park PD there everywhere,
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, they got it. They got to go. They don't mess around with this kind of stuff. They know it's a big moneymaker for either coast, right? For either park, and they want to make sure that people feel safe coming to spend their money to do that. Because if they don't, that's big losses for them. So.
Yeah, it's big deterrent. Nobody ever wants to be like, I feel unsafe at a Halloween event. Like that. That's horrible.
Mhm.
Jamie Lynn, how do you feel that Tiana's is only cast member preview? I got a tweet to pull up. Shout out to Drew Disney Dude dropping this. And came out of nowhere. I was like, what? I was at Horror Nights when this dropped. Cast member preview for Tiana Bayou Adventure Disneyland, October 22nd, November 12th. November 12th 's opening day, everybody. Registration's open September 23rd. What is that? That's tomorrow. So all the cast members, they're gonna know. They're all gonna know tomorrow if they're going or not. How do you feel about Magic Key holders? They just got rocked. There's no other way to say it. Florida got Magic Key holder preview. We don't.
Yeah, we have too many Magic Keys. They haven't done Magic Key anything when it comes to previews in years, so I can't imagine they would start for this attraction. Um, it makes sense. Let the cast members do it, right? There is still a 3-day window, Mondo, between when the cast member previews end and uh, and the ride opens. It's on the 12th to the 15th.
Oh,
So do we
does it open the
see?
12th? I thought
No,
Tiana's opens the 12th.
it opens the 15th.
Oh, damn! I bet I had that all wrong. So there's three soft opening. I could
That's
just
what I was
call it
saying.
right now. Soft opening.
Do we
Then
see a
damn.
soft opening? Yeah, the tough part is Mondo. It's going to be a really hard time for someone like us that likes to cover things. The 15th is simultaneously the opening day of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's also the first day of the Christmas Fantasy Parade, the first day of Believe in Holiday Magic, and the first day of World of Color Season of Light, and the whole Christmas time at the Disneyland Resort, including the Viva Navidad starting at the beginning with just a few dates. So you're going to have to be at Disneyland quite a bit during that period because all that's going down all at once, and you'll probably have to be at Disneyland that whole weekend, to be honest.
Dude, that November 15 ish, I'll be at Walt Disney World. I can't believe my eyes. I'll literally be doing Florida's Tiana's before my Disneyland Tiana. Like ridiculous, but that's just the way it's working. But hey, I'll be able to like legitimately compare Florida's to California's, and I'll have an opinion either good or bad. I don't know. Um, I think, man, I thought November 12th was the opening, but it's the 15th. I'm gonna say strong possibility of soft open. Why would they just let the ride sit for 3 days? It just kind of doesn't make sense. Do you agree with that, Danny?
Yeah, or they'll just be doing constant like testing those 3 days, just trying to get things done. They might just do. They might keep it closed and just do like all calls on the radio for any available cast members to just come ride the attraction during those
Yeah.
3 days. So it's a chance. It's a chance they could do an opening soft situation, but especially since the holidays start that day. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see a combined media event for people to come experience the holidays
Ah,
for
the
all the
media
invited media.
event. Those 3 days are
Hmm.
the media event. That's what
That's
it
probably
is.
what it is. They're gonna have a combined like, hey, come see the Christmas parade, see Season of Light. It's probably be multiple days situation. We already know.
Oh, I didn't even think of it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say no soft. Maybe it soft opens like 11 to midnight, like some hella late weird times. They're like, hey, you want to write it? Yeah, but Tiana's November 15th. That's the big day. Um, we got Jesse Howe. Mondo Danny, what is your current favorite theme park for Halloween events? HHN, Scary Farm, Fright Fest, Oogie Boogie Bash? Uh, and which is your least favorite? Love you both. What's your favorite and least favorite?
My favorite's always been Scary Farm. That's just the way for me. That's just my favorite one. I like how immersive the event is. Um, I would HHN's a close second. My least favorite is probably um, gosh. Well, I mean, I can't really say because Dark Harbor is back then is different than what it is. I don't know what it's like today because it's totally different. Everything, owners, and all that kind of stuff. Um, but I would say if we're just going on the ones that I've done, I'd say probably Oogie Boogie Bash this time around is my least favorite, just because um, there's not a lot that's I feel like that's different that makes for me after you've done it a few times, there's not a lot of value there to repeat it over and over again. I feel like with Scary Farm and HHN, the events are pretty similar, right? It's just they have a new lineup of mazes and things each year. But like the event setup's pretty similar, so you might argue, well, that's the same as Oogie Boogie Bash as well. But there's just more value, I feel like, when the event's at Disneyland because you can do the fireworks. Like if the event was at Disneyland and there was no only at DCA, I feel like I wouldn't care if the event was the same every single
Yeah,
time
me.
because
I agree
because
100%.
you got fireworks with your event, you've got parade, you've got
Cadaver
Haunted
and
Mansion holiday. It's just
Ghost
like you're
Galaxy
fully
back then.
yeah, you're just fully immersed in like the Halloween experience. And and they do a really good job of creating that Halloween environment at DCA. But the only kind of fun ride you get to do is like the Monsters After Dark. That's like theme, right? I don't know. Other than that, I don't really feel like there's really all that much incentive for me to like buy a ticket to go back. So
Yeah.
I'll wait
I,
till I'll
like
wait
if there
till
was tickets
they bring
available
back
right now,
Fantasyland.
like if there was tickets available right now for Oogie Boogie, I still wouldn't go. For what? I'm good. I'm good on Oogie Boogie. It's such a high price point now too, Danny. These Oogie Boogies, I could have sworn they were like $85 back then, or 95. Like I don't think they cracked 100. Especially the Disneyland Halloween, they were like 65. We're at 150s, 175s. Like Disney's really upped the ante with price tag to these after dark events. For me, HHN number one and Oogie Boogie dead last, like without a doubt. For me personally, um, let me see. Did you notice the discount ticket sale for HHN September? I did notice that. I don't really want to say it affected things. It's just it's busy like how it's supposed to be. Not extremely busy. But yeah, the crowds are coming. The crowds are coming everywhere. Disneyland, Knott's, Universal. They're coming everywhere. Jose Rodriguez dropping a super chat. Any tips for a first time Disney Tokyo Disney Sea attendee going the first week of October? I can't give you no tips, dude. I've never been, but all I know is you're literally going at the best time. October, Tokyo, all the stuff I've seen on Instagram and stuff, it's just immaculate. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah, the only thing we know is that you gotta if you're trying to get into Fantasy Springs, you have to figure that situation out in advance. If you buy a vacation package through Tokyo Disney Sea or Tokyo Disney Resort, it includes access to Fantasy Springs. You don't just have to stay at the Fantasy Springs Hotel. It can be any of the hotels that are eligible as part of their vacation packages. So that's a way of making sure that you're guaranteed access. But other than that, you can only access Fantasy Springs via a lottery that happens every single day. And if you happen to get an attraction that's inside Fantasy Springs, then you can go inside, but you can only go inside to ride that one attraction. So if your attraction that you've been selected for is the little tiny small ride that's the Tinkerbell buggies, that's the only ride you get to do. You don't get to go do Anna, you don't the Frozen ride, you don't get to do Rapunzel, you don't get to do Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. It's just kind of like what you're given. So it's not like you wouldn't have fun if you weren't be able to go to that. But if you don't plan to go back to Tokyo Disney and seeing Fantasy Springs is a big part of that, you really need to look into the ways of how to guarantee that for you, because there's a chance you won't. I just had a friend that just got back from Tokyo. I told them that advice. They didn't take that advice. They went to Tokyo Disney, went to Tokyo Disney Sea, and they didn't even get to step foot inside Fantasy Springs because they didn't get it for the lottery,
got robbed.
and they didn't buy a vacation package. So they still had fun. Obviously, Tokyo Disney Sea is a beautiful park by itself, even without that new addition. But they were a little bummed, right? Because they're not going to just be going back to Tokyo Disney. So it's like you got to just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm going to Tokyo Disney. I'm staying on property so I could have that first dibs into the new rides of Fantasy Spring. To me, it's very important. Um, but SoCal Attractions 360, shout out to them. They went and they talked about the scenario that Danny's talking about, where I want to say they did Frozen, but Peter Pan and Rapunzel were empty queue, but they will not let you stand by. There's no lines. You can't do them. It's just the way it works. So that whole lottery reservation system, they follow it. It could be 5 minutes to midnight and nobody's in line. You ain't getting in. Like they're not letting you in. So I think it's very important to stay on property or one of the vacation packages that allows you to guarantee in a Fantasy Spring. I think it's worth the money. I would do it. Like Danny said, like you're not going to Tokyo very often, you know. If you're
Rhonda, have you done SeaWorld's Hollow Scream?
I did SeaWorld Hollow Scream the very first year. It was a very rough event, but I had a blast. And I went with the open mind that, like, this is a first year event. And I'll never forget, it was SoCal Attractions. I was like, dude, they did a great job for year one. Like, I can't wait to see how they do year 2 or year 3. And they're like, no, this is as good as it gets. I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, dude, we've seen the ones in Florida, same company. This is as good as it gets. And literally, whatever year 1 looked like, that's how it's looked every year. Like, it's not like they keep improving these mazes. Hollow Scream is something I want to do just to see, like, has it changed? Has it really not changed? How people said. But I don't have any plans right now because, you know, San Diego's freaking far. And then to stay there late, it's such a brutal drive. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't even know if Hollow Scream's open yet or when their opening day is. I'm guessing it's very soon. Yes, stay on property at Tokyo for sure. And you get happy 15 entry and still buy ticks even if it's capacity. Yeah, that's another thing about Tokyo Disney is they sell out. They sell out. You're on property though. You're guaranteed in, if I'm not mistaken. That goes a long way. I just want to bring up one thing real quick, Danny. I just want your opinion. This is Universal Studios Hollywood. And where is it? Okay. All right, Danny. What is your first thoughts when you look at this? Look at that. Oh. What are your first thoughts, Dan? This is Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. What are your thoughts, Danny? This was like a week ago, so I would assume it's changed a lot more now. But what are your thoughts on this, dude?
It's wild. We were just there when it was 106 degrees, and it didn't even look that progressed.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much they're just putting on there. But it's wild to see roller coaster track on the hills there, and it's so crazy how Universal's so on display for the rest of the LA area.
Yeah.
It's like up on this pedestal and everyone can see it, so it's going to be really crazy. Like when you're in any part of LA, you'll probably see that roller coaster.
I know. It's going to become very iconic. It's almost like it's like the landmark. It's like, because you can see it from the freeway, you can see it from the lower lot. You're definitely seeing it, that whole surrounding area by the golf course.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. Yeah, I just wanted to show this. This roller coaster is insane. It's crazy. Anything else to talk about, Danny? I feel like that's kind of it.
Just, I guess you could say, do we have any plans, us, for going back to Scary Farm? Or
Hell yeah.
What's your plans, I guess, for this? What's
week,
their plans for this week when it comes to haunts, live streams? Let them know kind of what they can expect from Five Fires.
I want to go back to Scary Farm and vlog, and maybe I'll do a live stream like if I go a second time to Scary Farm. But I really want to vlog. I want to get like the details and, you know, the I don't know, that perspective of a vlog, because I have to do all the houses. I haven't finished all the houses at Scary Farm. But I don't know, Dan. We got to go back.
What are the live streams at HHN?
HHN, man, I don't know. I really like the only thing I have planned this week is Dark Harbor. I think the one that I'm like itching in my heart is to go to Disneyland, but there's just no news at Disneyland. I'm just waiting for their parking structure to start being built, or Esplanade construction, or e-ticket Avenger Campus Ride construction. Like, soon enough, I'll be at Disneyland a lot more because there's going to be a lot going on. But as of right now, there's nothing. There's literally nothing going on. I don't know. Everything's up in the air right now for me. I don't have a set plan other than Dark Harbor, but I definitely want to go to Scary Farm with you, Danny. That's for sure next week. I don't know what day, but I'm down. Dragon Blood dropping a super chat. Will you see Epic Universe construction while you're in Florida? It's looking really good. I don't think so. I don't think I'll emphasize anything of Universal Orlando. This is kind of mainly a Walt Disney World trip, Disney Cruise Line, and then I'll be with like my girlfriend and my baby. So probably no Epic Universe.
Are you doing Halloween in the high seas again?
No, we're doing Christmas cruise.
Oh yeah, because it's in November. Hello.
Coco, what ship are we doing? We're doing the Wish. I forget these things. I can never remember all these names of cruises. It's like hard to
And
remember.
you're doing the wish. You're doing the wish, but you're not doing the one that goes out of that extra city where you have to like try to get to it somehow.
Yeah, ain't nobody going to
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Ain't nobody going to Lookout Key. I'm good. I'm good. Supposedly Disney sent a lot of like influencers or something to Lookout Key. Dude, I don't. For me, Lookout Key is just like I do not care. Take me to Castaway Key. I want to go to Castaway Key. But hey, maybe in like 4 years it just looks way different for Lookout Key. But
Our Knott's Adventure wanted to say real quick, Mondo, that Spooky Farm starts this week on the 26th, which I believe is when is that? That is Thursday.
Thursday.
So Thursday starts Spooky Farm, not Spooky Farm. So maybe you can bring Max Rooney this on Thursday or Friday to go to Spooky Farm.
Isn't there like a heat wave though next week or something? I don't know. I have to look in all these things, but I would love to take Max to Knott's. Yeah, Spooky Farm would be cool. I hope there's a new show too in Camp Snoopy. They have all that display and where the theater used to be. So something's coming there. We just don't know. But
it looks like tomorrow, Mondo, is the highest day. It's 86, but then Thursday it starts to go back down again.
Oh, thank gosh. I'm just not in the mood for 100 degrees anymore. To revert back real quick to Dragon Blood, you want Epic Universe updates? Alicia Stella. Just follow her on Twitter, YouTube. Literally, that's my source. Like that's my go-to for Epic. Carla and Kiko at Bet 38 months. Happy Speculation Sunday. Thank you, Mondo, Danny, for all the coverage during spooky season. Missing out this year, so appreciate it. Bye, fire! Hell yeah. Carla and Kiko will be having some great coverage later on this year. I don't know if they've said it publicly or not, but they got a cool trip ahead of themselves, too. But thank you, Carla Kiko. Follow them on YouTube. All right. Saw your Batman vlog. WB tour guide was my first job in Hollywood 10 years ago. Damn, that's cool. They've upgraded everything. Still in Burbank, but laid off from Disney last year as part of 7K. Still look. Hey, stay strong, Victor. Sorry to hear that, man. But WB tour. I just posted a vlog from Batman Day. Big thank you to WB Studio Tour Hollywood for allowing me to come as a media. Batman Day was everything I wanted. It was so freaking cool. And it's really cool to be on a different backlot because I'm so used to like being in Universal. So all of a sudden, like I'm in Warner Brothers, like a whole different company, a whole different array of films. And then to be completely surrounded by Batman in the ending portion of the WB tour in Hollywood. It was just so cool. Go watch that video. You're a Batman fan or you just want to see what WB Studio Tour is all about, watch my video. I posted it earlier today here on the channel. 5 Fire Time. Like I highly recommend doing that. You want to do something fun? I wish they would bring Horror Made Here, I think is what it was called. Is that what it was called, Danny?
Yep.
WB Tour, if you're listening, bring it back, man. We want Jason. We want Freddy, Trick or Treat. We want all this good stuff to come back as like a haunt on your lot. We want that. We want that so bad. Let me see. Did they allow you to turn on the bat signal? Yes. They did. They allowed me to turn on the bat signal. It was super cool. I have all these videos that I haven't posted, like for Instagram and stuff like that. I gotta get to it. All right, closing thoughts, Danny. Closing thoughts
I
on,
know you didn't post that you didn't post that much on Twitter. I was shocked.
dude. I was. You want to hear the truth? I didn't bring a sweater. It is freaking cold at WB Studio Lot. And I got like all stuffy and whatever, and I've been like just taking a break. I'm like, I needed rest, just taking a step back, all these haunts and staying up late and stuff. I feel like it finally caught up to me, so uh, I'm just kind of like resting yesterday, today. But I'll be posting a lot of stuff. I've been posting little snippets of it, but my vlog that I posted on YouTube today has everything. Like it has everything. Um, all right, Danny. Closing thoughts on everything, my friend. Closing thoughts.
Yeah, they like we talked about many times already. Not Scary Farm was a great event this year. I really, really would recommend anyone go, especially if you can get and afford the fright lane. You'll really be able to maximize your night, do everything multiple times, and really just have a great experience. If you can't, you're still gonna have a great time either way. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you get there early. You can shop early, get all that stuff out of the way, and then have a great time. But check out our vlog that we did together on Mondo's channel. I'm going to post a video on Instagram, TikTok together from that night. We had a really cool opening ceremony video that Mondo and I posted on Instagram. I have a podcast coming out um, on Scary Farm, recap and all that stuff on Tuesday. That'll be out on Tuesday. My podcast is called the 5571. But there's a lot of stuff still happening for Halloween that we haven't done yet, right? We want to cover some more Halloween at Disneyland as far as foods and things like that. Um, I want to go back to Scary Farm multiple times. We want to try to do the buffet if we can. And just another thing we haven't tried, Mondo, is the Halloween like bar thing experience over at the Knott's Hotel. Want to try to
I
do that if
know.
we
I
can too.
saw. I saw a lot of people do that Halloween Knott's Hotel stuff. It looked cool. It looked
So
really cool. It looked really.
I'm looking forward to a lot of things to try out. So stay tuned. But yeah, catch me on the 5571 podcast Tuesday morning. That'll post with all the Not Scary Farm stuff. So check it out.
Heck yeah. My closing thoughts: Scary Farm, incredible. You're thinking about doing it, do it. It's super worth it. If you don't buy front of the line, you have to go at opening. We're already. It's October's around the corner. It's going to be packed every damn day. I don't know if Scary Farm is emptying out at nighttime. So like you show up at 11, 12 o'clock, like midnight. Are the mazes shorter wait times? I don't know. I haven't been at Scary Farm that late a second time, but on opening day, it was packed till like 1 a.m. when we were there. It never died down. It was crazy. But I can't wait to be back at Scary Farm and finish out all the rest of the mazes. Scary Farm as an event is just it's ginormous. There's so much to it. The houses, the scare zones, the shows in the scare zones, and the shows, and it was a blast. Scary Farm, incredible job this year, and I'm so happy I have a pass. For this week coming up, I hope I can make it a Scary Farm, HHN, and as weird as it sounds for me, Danny, I kind of want to just have a regular Disneyland day and not even care about Halloween. Like just Halloween's irrelevancy. I just want to go do space. Just have a regular Disneyland day. Like I don't even care
Dude,
about Halloween.
Space Mountain like hits different now. I
It's
love
so
it. It's so
beautiful.
good.
Tunnel. I love the tunnel. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All the lights. It's freaking cool, man.
Yeah, I can't
But
wait for you to do it.
all right, everybody. Thank you guys for your time. Hope you guys to all have fun and just kind of prepped you for all the people going to Scary Farm in the upcoming days or weeks. It was a blast. Scary Farm, like I said, it was probably my favorite opening day I've ever had. But big thank you to Danny. Follow Danny on his YouTube, his podcast, his Twitter, Instagram, just as Danny. And if you guys can, smash that like button before we get on out of here. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay. And just as Danny are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mon. Go. Ah.